So I'd like to welcome everybody to Brooklyn and to GEC18. It's a wonderful place to be. We had really a very good time last night. The demo session was absolutely fabulous. I want to thank our hosts, NYU Poly, and particularly Thanasis, who is standing up there in the back. This is a particularly exciting GEC because we've had so much technical meat in the planning sessions, and there's still a lot to come. I have promised to be very, very brief in this opening because some of our speakers have tight schedules. We have a very tight and very exciting agenda for this morning. So I'm simply going to very quickly mention our guest speakers, and then I'll come back up in a little bit and give you a bit of a GENI update. So in addition to GENI insiders who we've all come to know and love, we have a wonderful set of guest speakers this morning that really represent, I think, the different communities that are so important as we build GENI and as we start transitioning its use more thoroughly into wider research applications and education. So we will be welcomed this morning by Katapale Srinivasan, who is the president of NYU Poly. And I think he's a very good representation of the research community that we're looking to support. President Srinivasan is a research physicist and is a good representative of that community. We will have two speakers representing the IT community here at NYU Poly and at New York University. Marilyn McMillan will talk a little bit later. She's the Chief Information Technology Officer at NYU. She's going to talk a little bit about the general process for collaboration between projects like GENI and CIO's offices on campuses. Tom Schmidt, who's sitting up here, is the CIO of NYU Poly, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the specific preparations we've done here on campus in establishing GENI and preparing for today's demonstrations. We also have a guest speaker from our third community that's important in GENI, which is the testbed development community. Ian Foster from the University of Chicago will come and talk a little bit about some of the shared challenges that we have in building advanced networking testbeds and that his group has in building and providing access to grid computing resources. We really share a lot of the same challenges in managing shared infrastructure. So those are our guest speakers. I promised, as I said, to be brief, so I'm going to stop right now and introduce Professor Srinivasan.
Good morning. Thank you for the introduction. I'm very pleased to make a few remarks, but please excuse me that I am not exactly at the center of this enterprise. So if I sound like I'm not an expert, that's because I'm not an expert. Indeed, Brooklyn is a good place to be. Everyone says that these days. And thank you for holding your meeting here. As I understand, the Global Environment for Network Innovations, or GENI, whoever came up with the acronym was doing very well, is a virtual laboratory for networking research at the frontiers, especially with a view to inspiring and accelerating the potential for innovations of socio-economic impact. This fits in very well with Poly's philosophy. Certainly on its own, it's a great and ambitious goal to have, transformative potential and all that. And Poly's history for a long time has been in this kind of innovation. In networks in particular, it has had a long history. It played an important role in ARPANET, precursor to internet, and in packet radio networks, precursor to Wi-Fi. We have a long-running a Center for Advanced Technology in Telecommunications, or CAT as it's called, now 30 years old, and the new wireless center, NYU Wireless, whose focus is on 5G cellular technology, whatever that exactly is. As we evolve into our new stage of life, this is the School of Engineering at NYU, we certainly keep our focus on the application of technology for the well-being of society. So your meeting fits in very well in that scheme of things. On our end, Professor Thanasis Korakis runs several GENI projects focusing on wireless test beds, networking measurements, and education. And his group provides a lot of support for the community. I should like to thank him and his colleagues here at NYU Poly for all the work they have done. And of course, a number of others outside of NYU Poly who have been instrumental in getting this meeting going. And to NSF, particularly Bryan Lyles, for the support. So I welcome you to Poly, and I hope you will have a great time. Thank you.
So our next speaker is Bryan Lyles from the National Science Foundation. I believe we all know Bryan.
Welcome. It's good to see you. On behalf of the National Science Foundation, we are really, really pleased to see the progress and the energy that is going into this GEC and continues to go into the GECs. The NASA's, we need another round. Where are you? There's a reason why. There's a reason why people generally only do these GECs once. It's a lot of work. We appreciate it. President Srinivasan, thank you so very much for hosting us. NSF relies on the universities for these events. You and your staff, Tom Schmidt, they don't come off without the university's support. Your support is very deeply appreciated. With that, I'm only going to say a couple of more things. One of which is NSF continues to support the research infrastructure needed for the community. GENI is one example. I suspect most of you have seen the NSF Cloud solicitation, which is currently on the street. That's NSF 13602. If you haven't, go look at it as an example of our continued commitment to mid-scale infrastructure. Farnham-Johannian, the size AD, is quite clear in the importance of mid-scale infrastructure to the and research infrastructure in general to the ability of this community to do your jobs. So with that, I am going to quit and say I'm looking forward to the next 2 days. Yesterday was fun, and I suspect today and tomorrow will be as well. Thank you.